Hi guys, my name is Sonali and welcome back to my channel The Happiness Company. So we're talking about habits and we're currently reviewing the book by James Clear, which is also one of the best international sellers, Atomic Habits. And while I was reading this book, I was constantly reviewing the kind of habits I have developed. Say for example, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I come out and sit on my sofa. I mean, it's obvious, right? Most of the people would do it. But I generally come and sit on the sofa. I would take my phone because I keep my phone charging, on charge outside itself. I don't take my phone to my bed. So, I take my phone, I see what is, if somebody's messaged me, if there's a missed call, if I need to catch up on anything. So that's a habit that I've developed. Now, here's an interesting point to note. When you start reviewing your habits, you will come across some of the habits that probably you could avoid. Some habits are good, so you can build on it. You might need to add a few good habits into your life, and you might have to delete a few old habits. But the main challenge or the question is, how do you go on to build a habit? And that is what we are going to discuss in this episode. If you want to build a new habit, make sure that the process of adapting the habit is as easy as possible. If adopting that habit is easy, only then you will be able to get used to it and bring it into your life. Say for example, scrolling through social media, it's so easy. It takes up, and that is why it takes up so much of our time, right? But if somebody asked you to do 100 push-ups, or if somebody said that, study for exams 12 hours, that's going to take you a whole lot of time to build that habit, isn't it? So, if something is easy to adopt, something is easy to follow through, that is the main key behind building a new habit. So, make sure that if you're trying to be healthy and you want to make some changes into your diet, you first try out things that are similar to what you have been eating, so that your diet doesn't change completely, and something that you like, so that you don't feel that you've lost on something and that you don't have a craving which will make sure eventually you lose your track completely, isn't that? When you're trying to develop a habit, the first thing you notice is friction, that small little obstructions that come to your way. Waking up early, you can't wake up because even if you have put 10 alarms, you end up sleeping because you're not used to it, and that's a friction. So the first thing is to reduce the friction when you're adopting a new habit. On the contrary, you can also use increasing the friction for getting rid of a bad habit. So if you are somebody who watches TV a lot and you want to stop watching TV, you can just take out the batteries of the remote and you can unplug the TV, and that's adding friction to your bad habit. So all I'm trying to say is that when you reduce the friction, it becomes easier for you to adopt to a new habit. Another way to sort of adapt to a new habit is a 2 minutes rule. Anything that is doable in 2 minutes can be can sustain for a longer duration of time. Say for example, you want to start reading a book. You don't have to commit yourself to read a book in a week's time. Instead, you can commit yourself to read 2 pages every week or every day, and that's how you will be able to at least start off with something. I always follow this 2-minute rule when, at least in the initial 1 week, when I'm trying out a new habit. In fact, I recently developed a new habit, and I'm going to tell you about it towards the end of the episode. Before that, I want you to tell me which is that one habit that you want to add to your life, and something that you want to remove from your life. Okay, so coming back to the 2 minutes rule, I think it's simply a way to getting started, which is the primary and the foremost step to towards building a good habit. It's an easy and achievable way to develop a habit that will promote your overall success, something that will help you in long run, and it will also give you an idea about if you will be able to take it up or not. And Say for example, if you put on your running shoes, you're definitely going to go out for a run, isn't it? If you start reading a book and you develop an interest, if you read 2 pages, you're more likely to continue. And so I think it's a very important rule, for testing out a habit. Go and try it for yourself. And since I told you that I'm going to tell you which habit I have recently picked up, here it is. I recently started posting on Instagram. Yeah, I know it's not a habit, but I'm trying to learn how to make videos. And I'm trying to make sure that at least I'm able to post one video on Instagram every single day. It's also to do with the fact that if I've decided one goal for myself for the social media, at least I'm able to do that. Let me know what are the kind of habits that you want to pick up. Let me know what are the habits that you don't want in your life anymore. And we will come back with the final episode of how you should, change your habits and make your life even more beautiful. Add some new things into your life. My name is Sonali and this is The Happiness Company. I'll see you in the next episode.